Welcome to today's yoga practice for core and back strength and flexibility. If you have yoga blocks, you may want to grab those, but if you don't have them, it's okay. Let's go ahead and get started. So we'll begin in a tabletop position with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And we'll just start by going through some cat-cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, chin and chest. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale to lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale to round everything under. Do this about 3 more times at your own pace. Last time. And return to your neutral tabletop position. Take the right leg out behind you, lift it up to hip height, left arm reaches forward. Inhale, exhale, bring knee to elbow underneath the torso. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bring the knee and elbow together. Do that 3 more times at your pace. Last time. And then come back to tabletop. Shake it out. And we'll switch sides. So left leg goes out behind you. Right arm extends. Inhale. Exhale. Bring everything to meet in the middle underneath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, extend. 3 more times. And return to your tabletop position. Shake it out again if you need to. And from here, we'll come into downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet. And on an inhale, walk the feet between the hands. Lift the chest halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, and then the chest folds over the thighs. Resting here a moment. Knees can be bent as much as you need, and then tailbone lifting toward the ceiling. Take the hands, clasp them behind the back, and then let the arms fall forward. Take one more breath here. On an exhale, slowly release the hands. And then inhale, roll up to stand. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, step back to plank. We'll stay here for a moment. Let the shoulder blades go down the back. Belly button is pulled up toward the spine. And you want to make sure your tailbone isn't sinking or lifting up. You want to try to keep the tailbone neutral. Engage the core, engage the thighs, breathe. One last breath. And on your exhale, slowly lower down to the ground. Take forearms down to the ground, elbows slightly forward of the shoulders, coming into Sphinx. Keep the neck long and neutral. Breathe here. And you can stay here, or you have the options of keeping the elbows planted where they are, but then widen the hands, press into the hands, and lift. Breathe. If your elbows are lifted, slowly lower them back down to the ground. Pull the hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, walk the feet between the hands. Lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees as much as you need. Tailbone lifts toward the sky. If you want to take the hands behind the back again, clasping the hands, and then letting the arms fall overhead. Slowly lower the hands back down to the ground. And on an inhale, roll back up to stand. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. Stay here. Belly button to spine, shoulders down the back, legs engaged, glutes engaged. Breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck the toes, send the arms out in front of you. Forehead to the ground. We're going to lift forehead, left leg, right arm. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And we'll move to the opposite side. So forehead, left arm, right leg. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Continue going side to side at your own pace. Go about 2 more times each side. Last time each side. And lower. Bring the palms underneath the forehead and then rock the hips from side to side. Place hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, send the right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee down to the ground, coming into low lunge. And then letting your hips fall forward and down so that you're feeling a stretch here in the right hip and in the front of the right thigh. So the front of the right hip in front of the right thigh. Breathe here. Last breath. Tuck the left toes, lift the back knee, and bring the left foot to meet the right between the hands. Lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. Pause here. Engaging thighs, glutes, belly button to spine, shoulders, blades fall down the back. Neck is neutral. Last inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Take the forehead to the floor, untuck the toes, and arms rest down beside you, palms facing up or down. Inhale, lift the chest and arms. So strengthening lower back. Breathe. Neck is neutral. Last inhale. Exhale, lower. And now we'll lift the legs. So inhale, legs lift. Breathe. On an exhale, lower. And then we'll put the two together. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs. Breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, lower. Place the palms underneath the forehead and then shake the hips from side to side. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Place the left foot between the hands. Drop right knee down to the floor. Let the hips sink forward and down so that you're feeling a stretch in the front of the right hip and right thigh. Breathe. Last breath. Tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, and then bring the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. Breathe here. Last inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, press hands into the ground, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Rest for a moment here. On an inhale, come back to your tabletop position, and we'll do thread the needles. So take the right arm underneath the left, placing the right shoulder, right temple down to the ground. Left arm reaches overhead. And then give the hips a subtle shift to the right. Breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, bring the left hand back in front of the face and press yourself back up into your tabletop position. And we'll move to the other side. So left arm threads underneath the right, left shoulder to the ground, left temple to the ground, right arm reaches overhead, and a subtle shift of the hips to the left. Breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand back in front of the face, press back up to tabletop. From here, we'll move into puppy pose. So keeping the hips over the knees, begin to walk the hands in front of you. And then you can lower the forehead down to the ground or chin and chest. Last inhale. And then press yourself back up to tabletop and make your way to a seated position. If you have your blocks, you can grab those. Place them kind of mid-thigh area between the hips and the knees. From here, we're going to move into boat pose. So I'm going to stay in half boat. If you want to extend and do full boat, you can do that. You also have the option of keeping just the tippy toes grazing the floor and balancing here. So whichever position works for you. So we'll stay here a moment, lift the chest, breathe. Last inhale. Exhale, cross the shins, place your hands down onto your blocks, press into the blocks, bring belly button to spine, and lift the hips up and back. Lower. If you don't have blocks, you're going to do the same thing. So pulling the legs in as far as you can toward the body and then lifting the hips up and back. So the blocks just give you more space to move, so if you don't have them, it's okay. And if your butt doesn't actually come off the floor, that's okay too. You're just practicing the sensation of lifting with the core engaged and sending the hips up and back. So if you don't get very far off the ground, it's no problem. Again, coming into your boat pose. So whichever version of boat you want to practice, breathe. Keeping the chest lifted. Last inhale. Exhale, cross the shins, press into the floor or the blocks and lift. Return to boat. We'll do this one more time. Last inhale. Exhale, cross the shins, lift, lower. You can move your blocks out of the way. And then bring soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the sides. Bouncing the knees up and down. And then slowly bringing the knees back to a still position. And then slowly folding over the feet. If you want to use a block to rest your head on, you can do that. Inhale, come back to center. Moving back into our boat pose. Again, do your version of boat. So if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you want to be here, that's good, or here. So find your position. I'm actually going to keep my fingertips lightly on the floor. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, extend the legs. And then lower down to the ground, but you're keeping your shoulders off the ground. Inhale, return to boat. Exhale to extend. Inhale, return to boat. Keep going. We'll do this about 3 more times. And then return to your butterfly position, shaking out the legs. And then come to lay down on your back. Take a moment to pull the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Then plant the feet down up towards the hips. Feet are hip width apart. And then your hand should maybe be able to kind of lightly graze your heels. On an inhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, bridge. Stay here a moment. Then on an exhale, lower back down. Again, inhale, press the feet into the ground, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips. Pause here. On an exhale, slowly lower back down. Last time, inhale, lift the hips. Staying here, or option to send the hands underneath you, clasping them together, and then rolling the shoulders underneath you. Breathe. then slowly on an exhale, lowering back down. Take the feet wider than the hips. Let the legs fall over to the left. And then over to the right. And then send the legs back to the left. And continue this windshield wiper motion at your pace. Last time on each side. And then come back to center. Place the right ankle on left thigh and then pull the legs in towards the chest. Hold on to the back of the left thigh or the left shin. Pulling the legs in toward you and then having the sensation of the right knee aiming away from your body. Breathing here. Slowly lower the left foot back down to the ground. Bring arms to goalpost position. Keeping the right ankle over the left thigh, and then slowly let the legs fall over to the left while the head goes to the right. Inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So left ankle over right thigh. Pull the legs into the chest, holding onto the back of the right thigh or the right shin. Pull the legs in towards the body while having the sensation of sending the left knee away from your body. Last inhale. Exhale, keeping the left ankle on the thigh, lower the right foot down to the floor, bringing arms into goalpost arms and letting the legs fall over to the right, and then head goes left. Inhale, coming back to center. Stretch the legs out long. Take the arms overhead and we'll move into banana pose. So send the legs over to the right corner of the mat. Cross left ankle over right. And then take the arms and shoulders over to the right. Right hand is holding onto the left hand. And then you can also, you have the option of kind of popping the ribs over to the left as well as the hips. Resting here, feeling a stretch down the left side of the body. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. And then we'll move to the other side. So feet go over to the left corner of the mat. Right foot crosses over left. Bring the arms and shoulders over to the left. You also have the option of kind of popping the ribs and hips out to the right. Left hand is holding onto right hand. Pausing here. Breathing deeply. Hopefully feeling a stretch down the right side of the body. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Send the legs out long. Send the arms overhead. Stretch from toes to top of the fingertips. And then let it go. Send the legs wider than the hips. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Coming into Shavasana. So you can bring the hands down beside you with the palms facing up. Or you also have the option of letting the arms go up and out to the sides. Noticing if there are any places where you're still holding tension. And on an exhale, letting that tension release and melt into the floor. So this is where I will leave you today. Thank you for practicing with me.